Welcome to CoJo's Math. All right, we're going to talk about metric units. There's no easy way around this. You're going to have to memorize these different metric units and you're going to have to know what they stand for. So when we're talking about length, you'll notice in red, when we're talking about length, mass, and capacity, I've written in red the ones that we normally use. That doesn't mean it's the smallest measurement for the metric unit in that category of length, mass, or capacity, but it means the one we use the most often. So let's look at length. Hopefully you all have seen a meter stick. If I tell you, 100 meters, I'm going to run 100 meters, right? We're talking about probably a little bit longer than a 100-yard dash, right? But so that you're starting to think about that. So you know what a meter stick is. A meter stick is a little bit bigger than a yardstick. And that's how we usually talk. When we're talking about length in the metric system, we're talking about meters. So that meter is the one that's the most common, and you think of a meter stick. So the categories for length in the metric system, in order, the smallest is millimeter, and it's shown with the abbreviation of lowercase mm. Then comes centimeter, that the lowercase abbreviation is cm. So whenever you see cm, you're talking about centimeters. Then they're talking about meters, which is m, and then the larger one is a kilometer, which is km. Now, kilometer in a distance, if I go for a 5-mile run, or I do a 5K, a 5K you'll hear big in the summer. That's a 3.2-mile run. Okay, a kilometer is 5K is actually about 3.2 miles. But they use 5K and a 10K. So a 10K would be about 6.4 miles. They don't say a 5. Very rarely do they use 5-mile runs. When they're talking about runs in the summer, the raise money, fun runs and stuff like that, they're usually done in metric system. So anytime you see anything millimeter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer, that's all distance. That's the length of something, the measurement of a length of a side, or how far you run, the height of a chair. That's all length. And it goes millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. We don't say kilometer, they say kilometer. Mass is the matter. It's basically weight. And we say ounces, pounds. They say mass is the weight. And we have 3 definitions under this. In order, we have a milligram, which is teeny tiny. So I want you to think of a grain of sugar or a grain of salt would be a milligram. They're teeny tiny. That's how you can weigh that. And it's mg, all lowercase. A gram is something that we're used to thinking about. If you buy those little boxes of cereal that come in a 12-pack and they have the different flavors, if you look at that closely, it'll tell you how many ounces, and then it'll tell you how many grams are in there. And grams is the way what the measurement we usually use every day, because it's not too little and it's not too big. Grams deals with the weight of something like your cereal in those little boxes. Just look, it'll tell you how many grams are in it. So it goes milligram, gram, and then kilogram. Kilogram would be large. It's like a book. Books weigh kilograms, not just grams. So you got the idea. Grams are like cereal, paper clips, pennies. But if we're talking about a whole bag of money, of change, that's heavy. That becomes kilograms, not grams. If I have 5 quarters, that's measured, the weight of that would be grams if I put them on the scale. But if I had a big bag of quarters, that stuff's heavy, it would be kilograms. So you start to think about, well, if I think about it as something weighing in pounds, then it would weigh in kilograms. Better? Think about ounces, I'm thinking about grams. All right, capacity is the ability to hold. How much does it hold? Okay, how much does it hold? It's liquid. So the thing that you're normally associated with is liters. That's the one that we talk about the most. It's not the smallest. If you go buy a 2-liter bottle of pop, right? That's the bottle of pop that's a 2-liter bottle. Those are liters. So you have a milliliter, which is teeny tiny. That would be drops of something, like, eye drops would be a milliliter. If you're making a solution of something and you just want to drop, your little eye drop, you put a drop in your eye, that's milliliter. Liter, we talked about that. And then kiloliter is something bigger. So how much a trash can holds, how much liquid, a big vat would hold would be a kiloliter. And these, look, when you do liters, this is where you have capital letters only with the liter. So milliliter is a lowercase l with a capital, a lowercase m with a capital L, so it's ml. Liter is a lowercase l, but you do see as a capital letter. I mean, you do see it that way too. You see most of the time, because that's length, you see liter as a capital L. And then a kiloliter is a lowercase k with a capital L. You got to learn these. You got to know the order. Right now, you want to start learning it so that when we do the conversions, you're ready for that, which we're doing tomorrow. Those get trickier. So you need to learn these tonight. You need to know the order. You can't wait. Okay, so let's look and see if you understand this. So we're talking about mass here, weight, how much it's going to hold, not mass, but the capacity to hold. So if I say we have a tube of toothpaste, a large trash can, and a bottle cap, and here are your choices. You have 8 milliliters, 175 milliliters, and 125 liters. Well, which one is the most obvious choice? It's either the bottle cap, look, so these two are milliliters and milliliters, right? So which one of these doesn't fit with milliliters? Remember, milliliters is smaller amounts. That's right. The large trash can is going to hold a lot more than 175 milliliters. By process of elimination, which one of these does the large trash can have to hold? C, 125 liters. So that would be C. Now let's look at the toothpaste and the bottle cap. A tube of toothpaste is going to hold more than a bottle cap, right? So, bottle cap, we're just pouring something in. So what are we doing here? 8 milliliters. Remember, milliliters are drops. And 175 milliliters. So again, it's the smaller number. So which one would it be? That's right. The bottle cap has to be the 8 milliliters because that's the smaller amount. You're talking about dropping drops in it. So that would be A. And B would be 175 milliliters because milliliters is the smallest one. It doesn't make sense to be the trash can. That's why you need to learn that it goes milliliters, liters, and then kilometers, right? Kiloliters. Oh. Milliliters, liters, and kiloliters. Because the kiloliters is huge, the liters, we've got an idea, and the milliliters are drops. We'll see how you do on these. We have the weight, mass. We're talking about weight, how much something holds, how heavy it is. We have a textbook, a grain of sugar, and a paper clip. So mass is grams. So we remember what grams are, right? We got to remember that. We got milligrams, grams, and kilograms. So you just got to remember which is which. Kilo is bigger. Kilo bigger. It's a bigger thing. So kilograms. So which one of these would be the heaviest? Yeah, the textbook. So B has to be the textbook. Kilograms have to be associated with textbook. It's a heavy book. So now we look and we have to remember a grain of sugar and paper clips. Paper clips are a little bit heavier than a grain of sugar, but where are we going to go with this? Which one is the smallest? Yeah, the grain of sugar. So how does it go? Milligram, gram, kilogram. You need to memorize that and remember that order. So the milligram then it's not so hard if you remember what you're talking about. Small to large. And then the paperclip has to be the gram. All right. So your job tonight, because this is not a very long video, is to learn the different parts, different categories of the metric system in order. Okay? So you should go back to the metric units, and the three categories are length, mass, and capacity. Length, there's 4: milliliter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer. Smallest to biggest. Mass, milligram, gram, kilogram. Capacity, milliliter, liter, kilometer. Oh, excuse me, I keep saying kilometer, kiloliter. Kilometer is over here with length. Kiloliter is how much it holds. So think liquid. It doesn't always have to be liquid, right? But typically it is. All right, that's your goal. I will quiz you on that tomorrow. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.